off air.
Downstairs live. And now we're going to kick up over here. Man, I really like our intro song, guys. I don't really talk about it much, but I think Ben's band's like this is actually pretty good.
What if Ben's band would have called in and done AIDS Burger in Paradise?
AIDS Burger in Paradise. We're out here again. You know, we're just grinding. Episode 35, 15th episode on YouTube Live. Everybody out there, you know, we're just grinding. We got some caller back volume right there from Nick. You know, that's gonna be our one view for the week. Pretty much.
My bad. My beat.
Last week Nick wasn't here. This week we got the full crew. Wilson's wearing some Raider apparel. Nick's wearing an UTC hat. And hey, T.O. was actually at the UTC game this last weekend.
It's homecoming, man.
Yeah, I know. He actually showed up. He didn't bring Adidas apparel, right, Wilson?
He has nothing better to do with his life now other than go to
because he's fucking broke.
We were talking about it earlier before we got on here. It is what I feel like a crazy year in fantasy so far. Nothing has played out like anybody expected, really. Except for except for maybe David Johnson doing well, which I did not expect. But these two MFers right here did. So
I think that you're the minority on that, though. Like, I think a lot of people thought David Johnson was going to do well. Maybe not first overall pick in the fantasy draft, but he's been really good.
He's been delightful. I mean, those 30 points that he got this last week in the 2 of the 4 leagues I have him in probably was the reason why I went 4-0. Fuck you, Nate.
Just this week, though, right?
Hey, I'm off the ride on the old Bush League. I'm coming back.
I went to bed thinking I took AP in almost every damn league, and now I'm fighting. Like this week, my starting running backs in one league, LaShawn McCoy, and then I started Darren Sproles. If LaShawn didn't play, I had nobody start. Like I was going to pick up like a third-string running back. So, but I think this week on the episode, we're definitely going to talk about a few games out there. We're going to bring up the Penny Pitch Ray pick of the week, which is going to be your value pick, and then we're installing a new pick called the bye week Bill drop of the week. You know, dropping the mic on the ground. So stay tuned for those. We'll get to that here in a second. But first, we're going to talk about some NFL scores. Wilson has some deep opinions about the Titans-Dolphins game that I wanted to talk about.
Dude, the Miami Dolphins are probably the worst team in the NFL right now. Like, I look at the Browns, and I see more promise out of the Browns than I do the Miami Dolphins right now. I think Tannehill was the worst investment that they have made in a long time. I mean, there's a whole list of, like, just these moves that they've made that have not worked out for them. Like, how much money did they give Tannehill? They gave him, like...
It was like 60, 70 million.
Just way too much. And then
it was about what Houston gave Brock.
Was that like...
That's 72.
17?
Or 90. No, they gave him 90.
How much a year is he getting? Like around 20, something like that?
Dude, that's basically almost the average now for football.
Sports Track has Tannehill. His is a 4-year, 77 mil.
But like he's not worth that money, man. They have to get rid of him, dude. Like you have Jarvis Landry down there.
Who's going to pay him?
Nobody wants Tannehill. I mean,
they're going to have to cut him,
man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get rid of him, man.
You're going to waste that much money.
I mean, I'm talking about after the season, after this is over, because all they have is him and Matt Moore. And so you're going to have to get through the season with him. And could you totally see them looking at somebody like Chad Kelly in the draft coming up?
You're going to draft a dude that literally ran out onto the field in a fucking high school football game. That is totally Johnny Manziel 2.0.
No,
that's Johnny Manziel 2.0.
We ended up with Connor Cook. Connor Cook's redneck as hell.
No, he is Johnny Manziel.
He could drop
2.0.
All right, man. But they're going to have to be looking at a quarterback. They are terrible.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Looked like against the Dolphins, the Titans look like a competent football team.
Do you think they take the Jay Cutler flyer? I mean, he's going to be out there. He's not that bad. Trestman's on the market now. And next year, I think if they could because their offensive's terrible, let's just be honest. Like, play-wise, skill-wise, not so bad. But they could hire Trestman down there and they get Jay Cutler. And then Jay Cutler's back like he was. Because he had a really good year under Trestman.
This is my thing.
I mean,
Trestman?
Gase would have want to get him though?
I mean, Gase. My honest opinion is Gase is not that good of a coach. That Peyton Manning made him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I mean, you got to think. If you're Miami, you're like, all right, why don't we just shit the bed and get Deshaun Watson?
That's my thought. Is that why don't you just do that and see if you can get one of those really good quarterbacks coming out of college?
Yeah.
If they go pro, which I mean, why wouldn't you go your junior year? You can finish college in the pros, man.
You got Deshaun Watson and the dude up in Washington who are killing it right now.
Is the Washington guy going to be draftable though?
I have no idea, but he is tearing it up.
I mean, Watson might. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to
no, but
to get him.
You're 100% right. They've got to do something on that offense. I mean, they have three decent wide receivers. You have Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, who hasn't lived up to that whole hype that he had coming out of college.
He's hurt a lot though.
And then
they had Landry, and then they also still have Cameron.
Yeah.
Like, people forget he's down there because they don't throw to tight end.
Well, he's hurt a lot too. Like, he's hurt.
I mean, even still, like, he doesn't do hardly anything.
I
But
think
the thing is, their line sucks. They let Lamar Miller go. Why, I don't know. They really need to keep him because they have nothing in the form of a run game down there. They got
what? Kenyon Drake their backup? It's Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
And isn't it Kenyon Drake?
Yeah,
Yep.
but they're all bad. None of them are starting running backs in the NFL.
I think the thing that fucked them more than anything was them signing Sue to that massive contract.
Yeah, he hasn't even done anything down there.
He
Yeah,
hasn't
he has
done
not performed well.
Dick.
Like, the best player on their defense right now might be Kiko Alonso.
Yeah, he's flying all over the field.
And he's always – I mean, in the past 2 years, he's been hurt every year. So, like, torn ACL, whatever it may be.
Yeah, the Dolphins and Browns are a straight dumpster fire.
You see the Browns actually let go of Clipboard Jesus and brought their rookie quarterback up from the practice squad. They were like, well, let's just see what happens. I don't know.
They let go of Charlie Whitehurst?
Yeah, they cut him today. They cut
Holy
Clipboard
shit.
Jesus.
Charlie Whitehurst sucks anyway, man.
So
He's a journeyman.
He is heavenly.
He's terrible.
He has banged hotter women than me, you, and Andy combined.
I don't know, guys. You don't know who I've banged.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Nick's like, yeah, we know. It's not good. It's not good. It's not pretty.
No, I don't know. The Browns, I feel, are kind of – they have a glimmer of hope. I'd rather have Hugh Jackson than Adam Gase.
I think the worst thing that happened to them, they lost
situation.
their whole line, and now they're seeing what happens from that.
I think the stupidest thing the Browns did this season was let Alex Mack go.
I know that's the thing is that's what's. I think their offensive line has killed them a little bit, but you got poor play. Those guys don't want to try that hard, you know.
Well, Terrell Wire, he is everywhere.
He is that team now, though. That's the thing. Like, he takes snaps at safety, wide receiver, running back, and quarterback. Like,
By the way, that was Penny Pinch's raid 2 weeks ago. If he's out there, go get him.
He was. Which I have him in quite a few leagues.
He is. I really think once the Browns get settled, like week 7, week 8, 9, 10, he'll be a pretty good deep spotter, spot starter for your team.
I think he's a great bye week guy for you.
Yeah.
Definitely going to fill in. He's going to get something, you know, especially he's playing 3 different positions on the offense for him. He's going to get something.
All you need is opportunities in fantasy, and if he keeps getting opportunities like that, he's well worth it. So moving forward with them, do you think Cody Kessler can be their starting quarterback from what you've seen so far?
I don't think so.
He didn't look that bad the other day.
I mean, he hasn't been playing terrible. I mean, he's he's playing more competent than you would think for like a late round rookie quarterback on the Browns. You know what I'm saying? Like expectations are not high whatsoever.
No.
So,
I mean,
he's not, putting on a damn show out there, but it's something he could grow on.
perhaps it's just what did he play at USC?
Yep.
Yes.
So I mean, I just don't know. It's the Browns,
Dude.
and like you're saying, Wilson, you can't expect a lot from anybody.
But you have
Back
the
there.
quarterback guru, Hugh Jackson.
You also have Moneyball there, man.
Cool.
That's how they have Terrell Pryor, in my honest opinion.
Well, did you see they said they're not trading Terrell Pryor except for something like a really high draft pick?
Like a first-round pick.
Why would you, though? Because he's a
You
legitimate.
mean Josh Gordon or Terrell Pryor? Like, why would they trade Terrell Pryor? He's the only healthy wide receiver they got.
Yeah, sorry. Terrell Pryor. They literally said that he is like their number one asset, that he's the untouchable player on their team.
He said himself he would cut his hand off for the Cleveland Browns.
Why not? They gave him a chance, man.
Yep.
He's already got one more hand than the rest of the wide receivers anyway.
So, I mean, I really thought once they got Corey Coleman, that dumb fuck, how do you break your goddamn hand?
Did he break it in practice or just diddly
Yeah,
squatting
he broke
around?
it in practice.
So I know one thing that I was just looking at it. NFL scores. I can't remember.
Do you
Tony
think,
Romo is healthy. Back's good. Any way you bench Dak Prescott,
I wouldn't.
I don't see a reason. Like, why would they? Absolutely.
Because you know what's going to happen is that if Romo comes in and say that they lose this game for whatever reason, and it's Romo, the fans in Dallas are going to be livid that they started Romo over Dak. You have to let
Romo
Dak keep playing
throws
until he
a pick.
screws up.
no,
I
just,
think
Yeah.
if they put Romo out there and he throws a pick in any course in that game, he is going to get booed instantly.
well, it will be like when they played Denver that year, where it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he throws that fourth quarter pick, they will rip his head off.
Yeah, I find it very like they're 4-1 with Dak back there, and what they lost the first game of the year to the Giants, and it wasn't by a lot, like it was like
It's a rivalry
field
game.
goal or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
You know, it like how do you bench the kid? Like again, haven't played the best teams in the league, but he's still 4-1, and he's not turning the ball over a ton. I just don't. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see why. I have no idea why you would start Romo and why anybody
They
would
are
even
playing
speak
to
of it.
that team's strength. That like 60-yard touchdown run Ezekiel Elliott had, he did not get touched running
Well,
right up the
even
middle.
still-
Right in the middle.
When you lose Ezekiel Elliott, you still have Alfred Morris.
Yeah.
Like if you lose him, you still
But
have
that's
Alfred
not-
Morris.
But he doesn't have the speed and the skills that Ezekiel Elliott does, though. I mean, Alfred Morris is a decent back, but he's not going to give you the same thing that
The thing is, like what you're
Elliott-
saying, is like Dallas will block really well, and if they give Ezekiel a hole, he's gone.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Down the
man.
field.
I mean, they shut down Geno Atkins.
You're 5 games in this year, and here, like, Ezekiel only has 546 yards rushing.
Yeah, it was the first time per Elias that a rookie quarterback and running back on the same team have ever had 500 yards rushing and like 1,200 yards passing.
Yeah. And I'm
I
actually
like-
still amazed that Dak hasn't thrown an interception yet. Not even one.
He's being safe, and that's what you do with a good running back.
He doesn't have to throw downfield that much.
And he doesn't fucking have Dez.
Yeah, that's actually
I don't think-
probably a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. I think I'm with Wilson on that. I honestly
You
feel
got
like that
that,
way.
That little white guy, Cole Beasley down there.
Honestly. I thought you were going to talk about Jason Whitland.
Well, he's got him too. Oh, God. You know what's funny is if and when they cut Tony Romo, it's going to be Jason Witten that tells him he's cut.
Hey, Tony.
We got to let you go, man.
Hey, Tony.
They both start crying.
Hey, Tony. Want you to rub my head. Yeah. Any surprises for games this week? I mean, Tom Brady came back, threw 3 touchdowns to Michael Bennett, who I picked up in a league, and I was like very amazed by.
Marcellus.
Threw 4, didn't he?
Marcellus Bennett.
He threw 4 of them, didn't he?
He threw
No,
4
he
total, but I thought it was 3.
It was 2 to Bennett.
No, it was 3 to Bennett.
It was 3. I
Was
know
it?
it was 3.
3.
Yeah, because I picked him up in 2.0 against Fuck You Bye Week. He was talking mad shit this week. And he was like, I got Tom Brady coming back. You're going to lose. And I picked up Bennett and literally point for point.
Mike dropped Bobby Bill. He threw 3, and they were all 3 to Bennett.
Nice.
It's crazy.
But I tell you what, that Patriots team, they look good.
I mean, they did really well without Tom Brady out there. And they come out and
No, they didn't do as well as when Tom was there.
I know, but they did well. Like for you, everybody kind of expected.
Who would have thought they went 3-1?
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
I thought they would split it. It would honestly be 2-2.
well, you could see where they would go 3-1, but you had them losing to the Cardinals, is what it was, and then beating everybody else.
No, I had them Cardinals and Bills or Miami were the 2 that I was like,
I figured they'd lose the division game.
Yeah.
But I just do not see how, like when they dump truck the Cardinals, or they just took the Texans to the woodshed.
You know that
like, holy shit.
That GIF or that meme, where the guy's just like slapping the shit out of like 35 people.
Yeah.
On the thing. They did one where the guy walked up and it was the Bills, and then it was the rest of the Patriots schedule, and he was just like slapping the shit. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was a good meme.
I saw the one with Billy Madison when he's playing dodgeball. And
that was funny.
They put Tom Brady's face over Billy, and then all the little kids had like other players and like Goodell on there and stuff like that. And he was throwing the ball at.
I saw one. It just him looking up. It said, "Please, Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do to the city of Cleveland." Like he just, I know I'm a Tom Brady homer, but I don't know if he can. I really don't know if you take him off that team, if he's just as good. I would love to see him playing on like a team like the Texans. Just to see if he can actually compete at the same level. I think he's just a winner. That's all it is. He won in college and he never got his chance. And nobody realizes that.
That was getting his chance.
You, Drew Hansen. Or Hansen, whatever his name is.
Like, I know we live in the old SEC guru country, but he beat the fuck out of Alabama. Coming off the bench.
But that was in the years that Alabama was not that good.
They're still in the Sugar Bowl, man.
Alabama was not. I mean, MTSU almost beat them in like 2003.
If you're in the Sugar Bowl, you are either number 1 or number 2 in the SEC.
You're in a Power 5 conference.
No, the Sugar Bowl is number 1 in the SEC unless they go to the national championship.
Sugar Bowl.
Well,
Why
now
are we
it's
arguing about college football with Andy?
I know. I really don't give a shit about college football. Like MTSU, this poster right here. That's my only.
You know why? Because I fucking went here.
I did too, but I also went here.
I don't give a fuck about Tennessee because I didn't go to fucking Tennessee. I don't care about Alabama because I didn't fucking go to school there. It's like me cheering for Riverview High School because they're the number 1 team in the state.
Why wouldn't you? You mean Riverdale? But
there's probably a Riverview somewhere.
There probably is. Riverdale's in Murfreesboro, though. There was some joke that something saying like, it was talking about that, Nick, to your point about schools. You know, you went to Walmart to buy your T-shirt. I went to school there for 4 years.
Exactly.
It's like, what? Other games, what about the demise of Fitzpatrick?
I could see why I tried to hold out for as much money as he could get.
Yeah. But the thing is that, he played pretty solid last year. He set the Jets single-season touchdown record or some crap like that. So
yeah, but I honestly
think it was totally, just expected. But, I didn't think he would do as well as he did last year, but
I think it's just missing camp
or whatever in one game.
I think it's missing camp, though.
I think that whole Chiefs game 2 weeks ago was a fluke. I really think them missing Eric Decker is a lot bigger than what people think it is.
Yeah.
Because
I also
Decker's that
think-
like safety net for him.
Portion of that is like missing camp. You're still now you're week 6 of the league almost.
I don't
You're still
think so,
trying to get
man.
rhythm.
I don't think so, man, because they had a great year last year. He's been in this league how long now? He's getting on up there,
Years.
so it's one of his later training camps. It doesn't make that big of a difference, I wouldn't believe. Other than Revis showing up fat and out of shape.
Don't make Nick spew beer all over his
Yeah. Revis Island is now a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Do you think the Chargers will ever
Not
actually
blow
win more than one game? Yeah, it's like they don't have a chance. Apparently, like they're in it all the way through the game until the fourth quarter. Like they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 games by less than 6 points. 3 of those games by less than 3 points. I don't know why they can't keep it.
I was sitting there watching that game and literally I was blown away by that. I couldn't believe that had happened.
Me and a guy at work were talking about this today. If you take Philip Rivers off of that team and put him, say, on the Giants, if the Eli Rivers trade never happened, how many rings would Philip Rivers have?
I don't know. He'd probably have about the same amount. I'd say maybe 2.
I still think 0.
No,
Really?
he would have had a better coach. He would have had better front office, better organization to play for instead of these shitty Chargers. The Chargers
I don't think
make
he'd have
so
more
many
than one.
dumbest decisions.
I just think they would have
Well,
tailored that team completely differently. Like it would have been different, and
All
I don't
right.
think they would have made that many because
Let's
he would have still
face it.
done something in the playoffs.
That first fucking Super Bowl was not anything to do with that offense.
It was God's message.
It was the straight up defense with Michael
might have-
Strahan.
That might have been the one that he would have won.
Do you think? All right, so take him off of there and put him on. Put him on Dallas.
I don't know, man. He would have had Dez, and Philip Rivers can air it out. So
I would think Dallas probably would have. I mean,
Dallas's defense.
there for a while though,
Likely.
if it wasn't for some people getting hurt, that defense was still stopping enough where you could outscore them. The other team, that is.
Put him in
Alright,
Green
Dallas.
Bay.
Green Bay, I think he's just the same as Aaron Rodgers.
So that was a Super Bowl
Yeah, at least one.
and multiple MVPs because he literally is. I think he's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
I think Philip Rivers should have won an MVP so far.
Absolutely. You take him off that team, they don't win a fucking game.
They're like sub 500 by far.
Yeah.
Granted, they would have drafted some other quarterback here, so it might have been okay. But it's still like, yeah, they're pretty far down the damn list.
I don't know what it is. It's like he's never going to leave. And
No,
I
he's
just
not. He's one of
just feel
those old school guys is what he is. Even though
Loyalty.
we always see him, he has loyalty. Like, even though we see him and he just comes across as kind of a douche, he's probably
You
a
mean
good
a-
dude.
A bolo tie and wearing MF.
Yeah,
hey, man,
Yeah, but he's
those
just a
bolo
little
ties are pretty
old,
fucking
man.
sweet.
yeah.
No, it's not even that. Like you can almost say he's passionate. I mean, when he's fucking ripping Jay Cutler out at that fucking game where he's screaming at him like a little bitch. I really feel honestly pretty bad for him because he's what now 9th all time in passing yards, something like that.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Oh no,
He's all
that's
they have, man.
I think that was Frank Gore that just cracked the top 10. I don't
Frank
know. He's-
Gore.
Yeah, Frank
I know
Gore just cracked the top 10 of rushing yards.
Yeah, because what was it? Jim Brown is now like the best running back of all time to not be in the top 10.
I think so.
All-time passing yards. You want to know where Philip Rivers is 14th?
So cracks top 15.
Yeah.
It is nowhere in the discussion of best quarterback. You can't even put him in your top.
Well, it's because like every year they are just terrible, man.
And that's the thing. Yeah, the perception of the team holds his greatness down. I mean, it's all reality. I mean, he has 43,000 yards in 12 seasons.
He's
And
all
the
they've
only
had
thing
since
he's ever
LT
had
left.
is fucking Antonio Gates.
Yeah, he had Vincent Jackson for a little bit.
What was the other wide receiver? I'm trying to think who else they might have had.
I mean, they had LT for a while.
LT was there when he first started, so that's probably kind of helped him a little bit. Good, those are the years. Actually, if you look at it, what LT retired.
2010, I think, is when he went to the Jets.
So, Phil Rivers' first year is 14-2, 11-5, 8-8, 13-3. Since then, he hasn't had double digits wins.
So he had
That's
4
nuts.
winning seasons or something.
No,
like
he's had 1, 2, 3,
A lot of 9 and
4,
7s.
5, 6, 7. He's had 8 winning seasons of his 10 starting seasons because Drew Brees was there his first couple of years. But he's only had 3 double-digit win seasons in his 10 years as starting
He's tough,
quarterback.
man. Didn't he like tear his ACL or something and have surgery and then go play like?
Yeah, he played with it torn. It was against like the Colts in the
something crazy.
like the divisional playoffs, and he fucking tore it up.
Isn't that what happened to Steve McNair in college?
What, shotgun?
No, he tore his ACL and like the team carried him down. Or was that Chad Pennington?
No, that was Byron Leftwich.
Oh, Byron Leftwich. Okay.
Yeah, at Marshall.
All similar. That's right.
They're all
That's why I thought it was Chad Pennington. All
All
similar. All similar. Chad Pennington, Steve McNair, Byron Leftwich. I don't know why you're laughing. They all went to sub-5 schools, man.
Because you're so stupid, man.
I was thinking, I was like, after I said it, I go, was it Chad Pennington? Because I thought it was Marshall. I was like, wait a second.
No, we got you.
You'll save me. You'll build me out. And it also made me racist at the same time. Let's move the segment further here. Let's talk about the Penny Pitch Ray pick of the week. Nick, I'm going to just give you. You already know.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
No.
You're not worthy. Wilson, you got yours? I don't care.
Mine is Chris Hogan. Like going into waiver wire in ESPN, it shows that he's owned by 34.8%. Brady came back. I think he got hurt like twice, left twice in the game, but he came back. But he had 4 catches, 114 yards. And so he's going to get opportunities with Brady back. Brady spreads the ball. And so I think he is what the Patriots had hoped Amendola would have been. But, Amendola sucks. So
He's a fragile human being.
yeah, he is.
No, that's really good. He should have been – when Brady's coming back, he should have been off last week. I have Jeremy Curley from the 49ers. He is accounted for 42% of the team's targets and 44% of the catches, which is huge. Like you just said earlier in fantasy, it's all about opportunities. They're starting Kaepernick this week. So
Do you not think that'll change?
I really don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah, it might change a little bit, but I'm not going to say it's going to drastically decrease.
But, I mean, in a PPR league, absolutely he should be on your radar in a deep league because he's caught 6+ balls in the past 3 of the 5 games. So, he's out there. He's getting
probably
targets.
all they have.
Yeah. So, they're going to throw it to him.
Get over 30% of targets or some crap like that or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they are strapped for wide receiver talent out there. Torrey Smith sucks. We all saw that coming.
See, but that's the thing is he's not a number 1. He's their number 2. So I think that's the reason why he's getting these. He's got 42% of the targets.
I know. I'm saying that's great, but I'm saying that outside of him, they have nobody.
Yeah. So why not throw it to him? I mean, PPR league, golden. 12-team PPR league, get him.
So talking about PPR leagues and Nick's talking about deep PPR leagues, I just want to bring up. I'm trying to find the stats so I can tell you, like Nick told you. Bobby Rainey, Western Kentucky running back. Yeah, right. The last 2 weeks, he's had 13 catches for 95 yards. with Rashad Jennings might be out another week or so. Perfect bye week fill in, especially in 10+ team leagues. He has had roughly 30 yards rushing, but almost a little over 100 receiving in the last 2 weeks. Not only that, he also kick returns. So if you have any league where kick return yards are important, I think Bobby Rainey is a good pickup. A deep pickup. So 10, he's on the border. 12, I think he's a pickup. Definitely any bigger leagues, you got to must have him.
Your dynasty leagues and keeper leagues and stuff like that. If it's deep, then it would probably be worth a shot.
Adam Thielen from the Vikings looked really good the other day.
That he did, but I mean, like, I saw where he had like another good game or something this year so far, but like moving forward, it would be worth taking a shot on him. But would you feel confident ever starting him? Like, say, if you had 2 of your wide receivers on a bye and you were strapped, would you feel confident with starting him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he had 8 targets and 7 catches, and a punt return.
I feel like I might, like in that situation, Wilson, I might pick up Hawkins or something, or even Devontae Adams. And just
Screw Devontae Adams, man.
Fuck that guy.
I've had that guy last year before
Devontae.
that. But I would just take the upside on him and just see what happens.
I know we were talking about this the other day, is fantasy football don'ts. Well, now on my don't list is Eli Manning. That motherfucker fucked me.
I told
still
you.
won.
Oh, why did you do that?
Because I was like, he's playing number 28 defense.
He's not.
He got 9 fucking points against the Packers.
He's not good, man.
Him?
Yeah.
Danny Amendola's messed me up a few times because
Amendola.
I love me some Amendola.
You am a dope.
And then, of course, Tony
Eddie
Romo.
Lacy on that list somewhere. Tony Romo, Eddie Lacy.
I think Tony Romo's on everybody's dope list this year, man.
Dude, I fucking...
You in the Bush League, you had him the last few years in a row.
Somehow he always ends up like my spot starter. Because it's like, shit, he's playing the damn Bengals. Put him in there. Let's see how he does. And that's when he breaks his back.
Let's see what happens.
And Nick would always walk up to the board, and it would always be like, I can't believe I'm doing this or something.
It's like a panic.
that line, and then he does it every single time. Like, we know it's coming.
You just walk up and you're
like, if he wanted to, Nick could like take him in the very last round, probably.
I don't know if I want to. Okay, it's just there.
I'm done.
That's like me this year when somebody I can't remember what quarterback I wanted. I think it's Phillip Rivers or something. Pick before me. Somebody drafted him. I go up there. Fuck. Brock Osweiler. Crooked as shit. Just all the way across the board. Damn it.
I think everybody has those people that they've just been absolutely screwed on. Where you're just like, God bless you. You've literally screwed me time after time after time.
So we'll move to the next one. So the bye week Bill drop of the week. You know, if we could drop bye week Bill, we would, but we can't. He's unfortunately in our league and a senior
champion.
member. He's a senior member, and we've kicked champions out before. Let's just be honest, Nick. We've kicked them out before. But Nick, you got a drop? Who's your bye week Bill drop?
You know what's funny is I can almost say well, going into last night, I was going to say any Tampa Bay running back. But Jacquizz Rodgers actually did pretty well. But, God, that's so hard.
I don't know why anybody would have him on a team. Unless you, had no other running backs and you had to pick somebody up.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to look at – there's got to be some running back like Chris Ivory. If he's still on your team and you need a waiver wire pickup, if there's a decent wide receiver, you got to get rid of him.
So I'm in a similar boat. If Thomas Rawls is still on your team, drop him.
I was going to say that, dude, because I've dropped him in one of the leagues.
I had no idea. If he's still on your team, you should have already dropped him.
I don't know. If you got room for him, like if there's an IR spot and it's not already filled by somebody.
There's better people than him to be on it.
But the thing, I mean, you just never know when coming back. But we kind of see this from time to time. Like the running back comes back before he's 100% healthy. He just struggles all year long. LaShawn kind of had that last year. Marshawn had that his last year. And so maybe this just isn't a good year for Rawls. Maybe you are right. But if you can stash him and hold on to him, I'd do it. I chose not to in the Bush League, I believe. But that's due to other better players being out there, and I didn't have the depth on the bench to keep him.
What about in leagues where people have Tyler Lockett?
Oh, God. He's another one.
He's like right on that fence where, like, if I drop him next week, he's going to have a 20-point game.
But you know what? That 20-point game is going to be on your bench because when are you going to start him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bye weeks are the only time you would start Tyler Lockett.
What about Jamal Charles?
I'm still holding on to him. He hadn't played yet. I have him in one league, and I'm just sitting there.
What about Spencer
Hey,
Ware?
you know what?
That's
This
the problem.
weekend's a good weekend to start your Kansas City Chief running backs, listeners, because they're coming
And your tight
to the
ends.
black hole. Yeah.
And your wide receivers.
Hey,
get
have you
some
ever seen
skinny-
Alex Smith throw for 600 yards? We're about to.
600 yards and 6 TDs.
You know what? This is a
Yeah.
week we fucking shut out somebody.
Yeah.
So,
I
and that's
hope
one
so.
thing. I have this predicament in one league, but is there a week that you start 2 running backs on the same team? I know that the year of Cal, I got my ass beat by starting 2. Somebody beat me with starting 2 Saints running backs on the same team.
He won the whole league doing that.
I know, but is there a point in which you start Spencer Ware and Jamal Charles, or you
No.
start Jeremy Hill and Gio?
That's the only duo you could ever start in fantasy football.
You think? I mean, I'm just trying to, like, if you're thinking about running back by committees, well, there's 2 definite ones there. One of them's going to get you a touchdown, regardless. I'm thinking maybe that's Spencer Ware and Jamal Charles, because when Jamal goes back out there, they're not going to be 100% on him. They're not going to be like, you got the ball every down, it's you.
Right
Yeah,
now,
right
Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman. If you're going to start
that's it.
2.
Because what was it this past week? Coleman had 23 points.
Devonta had a rushing touchdown, but Coleman he had 6 rushes, 4 catches, but the catches went for over 100 yards and a touchdown or something like that. So he only touched the ball 10 times, but it's like when he does touch the ball, and it's usually in the receiving game, he makes more things happen. So
It's exactly how Jeremy and Gio are. And you know what's funny? Last year or the year before, you could almost say Eddie Lacy and James Starks once they started splitting carries.
Yeah. So if you
I
look
think
at
James Starks is one of those very underrated backups too.
Yeah. Well, so if you look at it, if you started the Atlanta backfield this past week, you would have gotten 43 points just from both of them.
against what were y'all?
One.
You were number 1 against
Yeah,
the number 1
Vikings were number
defense
2.
in the NFL.
But that's the thing is what they did is they exploited the running back linebacker matchup. And that's how Tevin Coleman got so many points is they just ran him out in the flat or ran him up the field, and they that's how they killed it. Say what?
We need Nathan in here for this to talk about how much he loves
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan.
Oh,
How
my
long
God.
How long did he dog on Kyle Shanahan, and now
He
he
still
probably
does.
just,
Up until
he
last
loves it.
week.
Yeah,
Up
last
until
week.
Julio put up 300 yards.
Yeah, until Kyle Shanahan shoved his dick down his throat.
That 4th round pick in the 1st round there is doing pretty good though. Keanu Neal.
No, it's I really think that's the Broncos missing Danny Trevathan.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Davis, I think that's his name. The other linebacker outside of Brandon Marshall isn't the quickest dude. Like, he's not fast. He does not have Danny Trevathan speed. Can't cover that running back. Brandon Marshall did get beat by Tevin Coleman a couple times, though. And I would think Brandon Marshall has a little bit more of that speed. But it really hurt him. And I think in that game, that offensive line hurt him more than anything else, though. Because they really held everybody in check except for the running backs on the defensive side.
Well, yeah, I mean, their corners are shut down, dude. Their corners are great.
They did really good other than just stopping the running backs in the flat or running backs in the mid-tens.
Because you got to think, who has Denver had, like, struggles against in the past few years?
I mean, it's been anybody that does swing routes, really.
Middle of the field.
Yeah. So like Tom Brady, when they'll do all those real short middles with linebacker matchups. I mean, they'll kill them on them every time.
I really think it's just those quick decisions where you can't get after the quarterback fast enough.
Those quick, like it's 2-second drop, it's gone. Yeah.
Two-step drop, boom.
Yeah.
First.
No, that's totally what it is, and some teams are better at that than others. Atlanta just happened to be really good with it with the running backs because, I mean, I honestly think they have one of the best backfields right now. Top 5, most certainly, as far as
And you remember
duos.
how in the preseason and prior to fantasy drafts, people were like, "Oh, I don't want Devonta Freeman this year. Like, I want to stay away from him." And
I did because I thought Tevin Coleman was going to take it.
I thought that too, kind of. I mean, like I
think everybody did.
He was the best available, but I was like, he struggled after the beginning of last year, and so everybody thought he was going to not be that great this year, but he's proven us wrong. So.
But, I mean, we've talked about a lot tonight. I don't know if Nick or Wilson, you have other comments?
I'm good, man.
We had the Penny Pinch Ray, the bye-week Bill pick. We shot the crap about a lot of other stuff. For the most part, this closed down is episode 35. I mean, we're 35 in. I can't believe it when we get to 52, which we may not. Who knows? We may give up. We may be tired. We may lose all our fantasy leagues. But for it, that's all I got. That's all I got this week.
2.0 is mine.
Bush League 2.0.
No, I would. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter.
Yep. Twitter, Facebook, ffdraftbus.com.
Start sit questions.
Yeah.
So sorry to the douchebag that we said, hey, start Jalvin Landry against a shitty defense. Whoops.
It's all good. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Catch you later. See you next week, everybody.